Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate everybody subscribing and supporting the channel and watching the videos. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome day and are ready for the weekend. So I had a request to see the king snakes, so we'll check out the 3 that I do own, and it is time to feed them. So we'll look at them and then we'll feed them during the video. So this is my California King, and she is, I think, a 2015, and this was my very first snake that I ever bought, and I got this one at PetSmart. I just randomly walked in and it was on sale, and then I just bought it. So before that, I've never owned snakes, and then in just a few short years, I have built up a very large, or large to me, collection, and I think it's continuing to grow, and I'm doing my best to maintain them and keep them as healthy as I can. But I really like her because not only do I like the colorations on her, but I really like the belly, how it's this nice brown all the way down and then up to her head. But she has been a really good pet to own because they don't take much maintenance to really own them. I mean, if you're gonna get a beginner snake, I would highly recommend a king snake because you can basically just keep these at room temperature. They don't need a lot of heat, they don't need a lot of humidity, and they have very strong feeding responses. So unlike ball pythons and possibly some boas, if the humidity is not exactly where it's supposed to be, or the heat, these types of snakes won't go off food, which is really good. And then when you do give them food, they really don't hesitate to eat. And sometimes, not really with this one that I've had any issues with, but they do like to kind of be nippy, or I've seen some pictures where they try to eat your fingers, which would be kind of interesting to have that happen. But I guess people just take some alcohol or mouthwash and then just take a cotton swab and rub their mouths with it, and then they let go. But her temperament is really good. Sometimes that I've noticed with all 3 of the king snakes is that if you kind of startle them, or if you kind of, open the lid and kind of want to mess with them, they kind of rattle their tails a little bit. I don't know if that's kind of like a warning that they're going to bite, or kind of like a false warning, acting like they're a rattlesnake or something, so prey items don't get near them. But so owning king snakes have been, so I've owned her for a few years, and then these 2 I just got over the summer. So it's been interesting owning them because I do have a lot of boas, and even the ball pythons are much bigger in size. So having these eating tiny pinky mice, it's been different. And then even holding them, these as babies, and even this king snake, the size difference, it kind of makes me feel like I'm going to squish them. But we haven't had any issues so far, and they're very fast. So they're tiny and they move very quickly, and sometimes I'm kind of afraid I'm gonna, like that, they're gonna get out of the tub and then just scurry away. So it makes me a little bit nervous messing with them at this size. But I do have the 2 black Mexican Kingsnakes. I bought a pair of them. The people at the reptile show let me buy both on a decent deal. But any deal you can get is definitely good in my opinion. So I have the female, and then I have the male, and they are in 2 different size tubs because the male was having no issues eating when I first got him, and then the female wasn't eating very well in the bigger tub. So when I put her in the smaller tub, she's eating much better, and the female is going crazy. And then the male will probably try to bite me. So the male has tried to bite me a few times. It doesn't hurt or anything, but I don't know if it's because it's skittish or scared, or if it's just the super strong feeding responses on that. But I would assume because they're tiny and I'm much bigger than them, and then they get kind of scared. So the one thing that I do love about the king snakes is they are patternless, and they are completely, well, see, almost lost that one. Completely jet black all the way down, and they have black tongue and black eyes. We'll see if the male is more cooperative to hold, but I'm sure this one might try to bite me. They're both kind of crazy, so kind of hard to handle them on video. This one's rattling its tail just because they are, like I said, they're extremely fast and they're so tiny that you want to grip onto them, but you also don't want to squish them. So it's a big difference holding the boas and then handling these guys right here, but they are really cool looking. Jet black, no patterns, a lot of iridescence, which is really cool, and not cooperating to try to get the eyes. Oh, there we go, kind of. Well, it looks like the back of their tongue is red, and then the front part of the tongue is black. But I know these GoPros don't do very well on up close shots. But so these have been a dream snake of mine for a very, very long time. And at the moment, when I was looking at them years ago, the pricing was pretty cheap on them. And then about a year ago, even maybe a year and a half ago, for some reason, the prices skyrocketed and they just started to come down. So, all right. Okay, so I saw the tag that said female and I swapped them. So I got a little confused at first, but the price came down this year. And so I had to, I just picked two of them up because you never know how the market is with snakes. Snakes can skyrocket one year or they can dip down pretty low. But it's always, I don't know if snakes are good investments, but it seems that the value of a lot of snakes just keep on going up and up and up. So we will feed them, and since they are normally really good eaters, this probably shouldn't take too long, but we'll see what happens. So I'm feeding her anywhere between rat pups and really small rats, kind of swapping them back and forth. Whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. Probably should have held it a little more sideways on the back, but they really don't mess around when eating. They're pretty opposite of how a lot of ball pythons are, but really, really interesting even watching them eat, because I've noticed sometimes with this one, and then most of the time with these two, they don't even wrap the prey like they're constricting it. They just go ahead and snatch it, and then they just straight start to eat it. So I'll stop talking, and then we can just watch these three eat. so that was perfect. Hopefully you guys didn't mind watching them eat. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing just the 3 king snakes that I have as of right now. If you guys want to see a bunch of cool king snakes, corn snakes, and stuff like that, I've been watching Cloud Colubrits, and he has a ton of awesome ones over there. So getting a lot of information off of him, and so that's pretty much it. I gotta feed all of the ball pythons, so I will make a video of that for you guys. And then I gotta feed the anacondas, and then I gotta feed the other boas. So this weekend is gonna be filled with feeding videos, which I really don't think you guys mind too much on that. So hopefully you guys have a safe weekend, and I'll see you guys on the next video.